A lot of people my age are already in assisted living and care centers. When I get up in the morning, I take inventory to see what parts are still okay, and if nothing feels too awful, I get dressed, go downstairs, and scan through the New York Times. When I get to the obits, I find that most of the dearly beloved recently departed were younger than I am. But I am not convinced yet that it's my time to just sit around and drool. I know that life in these United States is just about as good as it gets anywhere, yet it doesn't stop me from complaining about what should be minor annoyances. So now I'd like to expound a bit on one of my pet peeves, Deceptive Nines. Don't tell me I'm being small-minded and should get a life. I've learned to hate nines, the only number that changes to another when viewed upside down. It is also the most overused deception in advertising, with the possible exception of the word sale. Walk down any street and look at store windows. Every price seems to end with a 9. I hear that they take surveys and find that people invariably are fooled into believing items are cheaper than if priced in round numbers. I find it so silly and objectionable that I have conditioned myself to think in round numbers. I'd never tell my wife I bought something for $9.99. I say $10. I refuse to get roped in. It takes some effort and it admittedly is a small thing. But hangnails and pimples bother me too. If this were called a dollar store, would it attract fewer customers? Unwanted circulars thrown on our front walk daily, if not picked up promptly, inform local thieves that we're not at home. There doesn't seem to be any legal way to stop these litterers. The throwaways use the 9s for almost every price. Finding one that doesn't end in 9 is just about impossible, but they use a double standard when they say how much you save. Talk about a numbers racket. That is always given in a round number, which never ends in a 9. You save $3, $5, $10. Used car lots, or you should pardon the expression, vendors of pre-owned vehicles, are also guilty of the overuse of 9s in their pricing. Likewise, liquor prices are almost always shown with 1 cent knocked off. Newspaper prices can also be depended upon to overuse the 9s. Ad nauseum would be a good name for them. A $99.99 price has them proudly proclaiming, cheap, under $100. Most of this finagling with the prices is accomplished by removing 1 cent from what is the real price, and is probably the major reason we are still involved with the penny, which should have been phased out years ago. Let's look at this pitifully impotent coin. The venerable Lincoln has been around since 1909, when it replaced the Indian cent. In the first half of the 20th century, it actually bought things. Popular penny vending machines dispensed small chocolate bars, candies, gum, nuts, jawbreakers, and lots more. Drugstores had scales to weigh yourself on, activated by a penny. Postcards cost 1 cent to mail. Newspapers were available for a penny or two. New York papers still publishing, the News and the Times, were 2 cents and 3 cents respectively. Even cigarettes, referred to as loosies because they were so loose out of the pack, could be bought for 1 cent. Today, the Lincoln has so deteriorated in value that it buys nothing. Very few people still bother to pick one up off the street. Now let's consider 1/10 of a cent. That's ridiculous. It can't even be thought of as money. It would take 200 to mail a postcard, 330 for a letter, and 1,500 to get on a New York City bus. So who in their right mind could possibly be involved with this infinitesimal, nebulous bit of money? Well, you are. All these great names in the affluent oil industry force you to. With them, deception reaches a new high, or low, depending on how you look at it. As far back as 1936, these titans of industry involved themselves in tenths of a cent in pricing gasoline. Now they all price their product by removing 1/10 of a cent from the actual price, so that they can deceive you, the purchaser, into thinking the product is cheaper than it really is. They are so convinced that this deception is a good way for them to go that they have gone to the considerable expense of calibrating all their pumps to handle tenths of a cent and adjusted their signs to show it. All the companies do it, so it has to be a conspiracy. Does it work? Does it confuse the customer? The question we asked was, if gas were priced at $1.70 even per gallon, and you bought from a pump that was marked $1.69.9, what would you be saving on 10 gallons?
You're about to save about, I don't know if you're going to save a dime or what.
Thank you.
10 cents?
Thank you.
10 cents? Is that too quick? Did I answer?
$1.69.9, 10 cents.
10 cents?
9 cents.
How much?
9 cents, right?
Right. Actually, to me, it's the same. You may save a penny. That's about it on each gallon. That's about
Penny on each one. You get 10 gallons, save 10 cents.
10 cents?
I can't hear you.
10 cents.
I was going to save you about 10 cents.
I think it's $1.
No, think again.
What would you save on 10 gallons?
1 cent?
10 gallons, 1 penny.
Of course, 1 cent is the right answer. It's time we told advertisers to stop using deceptive pricing. When Rudy Giuliani became mayor of New York City, he attacked minor quality of life issues with a vengeance, and enough good resulted to revitalize the entire atmosphere of the city. Let's tell the oil companies enough with the idiotic 9/10 of a cent you add to every gallon of gas you sell. Stop insulting our intelligence. Maybe if we get rid of some of these minor indignities, there'll be some trickle-down good for us on some of the major ones.